Tired of myself, tired of this town.
Eminent Waste of Time, presented by CW Motorsports, episode 119. I'm Doug.
And I'm Chad.
And this episode, we've got just a small, tiny, itty-bitty piece of news.
We're going away.
We're folding up the tent. We are out of here. Goodbye. We just close the camera now. Okay, well, that's only partially true, actually. We are announcing officially the end of Eminent Waste of Time. This is episode 119. There will be an episode 120 where we kind of give it a send-off. But we are not going away. We're just shifting formats a little bit. Chad and I have been evaluating the numbers of the show, how many people we're reaching, the average duration of view, which means, it's an hour-long show. How long are people looking at this thing for? And the numbers suggest 10 to 15 minutes. And usually 10 to 15 minutes is when we finally get to something interesting. So,
well, we get to a topic.
We get to a topic.
I don't know that it's interesting.
It's UTV related, which is kind of what people are coming for. So,
right.
We're closing down shop on this. We had several discussions over the past few weeks and decided that a relaunch with a new name, new show format was probably what needed to happen to reach more people. We want to grow this, and it's been hard. There's been a lot of transitions over the past few months, and it's just time. We both felt like it was time. So we've got one more episode coming out, episode 120, and that'll come out around February 4th, and then we're going to take a couple-week break, and then the new show is going to come out Tuesday morning, so we're not going to change the release date or time. The new show is going to be called Race Pace. It is going to be a much shorter show. We're going to shoot for about 22 to 23 minutes is our goal. It's going to be
tough.
What's that?
That's going to be tough.
It's going to be a much more scheduled show. We're going to have specific topics that we're going to cover. We're going to have timelines, and if we hit the 7-minute mark, and that's what we've allotted in the timeline, then we're going to have to cut it short and move on to the new subject. It's going to have a very racer-centric focus, so we want to cover you guys. We want to talk about your races. We want to talk about your performance, your stats, as the season progresses, kind of just our analysis of things and how we see things progressing for different racers, what they need to do to win out in their series, how things need to go for them, who surprised us this year that kind of came out of nowhere, whose new machine seems to be working better for them. We want to make this more race-focused for you, the racers. And to do that, we feel like we need to be able to reach people who are interested specifically in the UTV part. They may not be interested in trivia. They might not be interested in my house updates or barn updates or anything along those lines. And the numbers we're seeing from the show right now kind of support that. So it's going to be a much more compact format. Think Sports Center, but for UTVs. We want to have a lot more live action video clips from the races in there. And just the overall feel is going to be different than Eminent Waste of Time, but it's still going to be Chad and I. We're still going to be joking around. This is not going to be a completely serious button-down affair where we have suits and ties on. In fact, Chad, I don't know that you've had a suit on since you got married.
I have a few times, but court appearances don't count, right?
No. Funerals from people you've killed, that sort of thing. So that's the big news. This isn't an April Fool's joke because it's January 24th today, the day we're recording this. It's just going to be a big shift for us. We really want 2020 to be a successful year for you guys, and we want it to be a successful year for Eminent Performance. We want to grow, and we think this is one of the good ways that we can do that. We're going to try making more videos as well, featuring new parts, new install videos. Those seem to do really well for us. People are definitely interested in how-tos and product reviews. We think we do them fairly well, so we're going to put a little bit more emphasis on that. There is going to be a Sunday Drive Season 2, so that's coming out as well. So we've got a lot on our plate. It's just time to trim the fat and see if we can make the numbers grow. So
yep,
that's where we're at.
So along those lines, we're going to need some things from you guys, the listeners, especially our faithful ones. Definitely make sure that you watch the new show.
Yes.
But on top of that, like Doug was saying, we're going to be doing product installs and things like that, how-to videos. Suggestions. What would you like to see? do you have a specific part that you really like that you think that, we would like? Let us know what it is. If you have a connection to the company that makes that, that would be great if we got some sort of hookup or a free trial of it or something like that. We're just looking for topics that you guys find interesting. We have stuff, that's not the problem. But what I find interesting may not be what you find interesting. So
Exactly. And the numbers suggest that, like we said, those videos do fairly well. If we're doing a product review or a subject that people are interested in, we typically reach between 10 and 15,000 people. If it's not interesting, then it's less than that. But
yep.
We think we have a good reach in the UTV community. We want to focus as well on interviews. So again, if you want to do an interview, we'd love to have you on. And it's going to be a much more compact format. We don't need an hour of your time. We need maybe 20 minutes of your time, and we'll cut that down probably into a 10-minute interview or so. And we want to bring you bigger names in the business. We've got contacts with a lot of people out there, so we need to stop squandering those and get in good with the people that we already are in good with. We need to get in better with them and actually have them on the show. We've had a lot of interest in people, or interest from people that want to be on this show for some reason, and it's time to cash in those chips, basically. We think the new format, again, is going to reach more people, which does more good for everybody. We want the sport to grow, and we think this is the best way we can help do that.
So, that's the big news. So we are going away, but we're not.
No, you're just going to see less of us, which probably helps the sport as well.
Right. And we're also going to get something set up. It's not there yet, so just wait. But Doug and I were talking. Obviously, we can't make every race that's out there. There's just too many for us to make them all and get video and everything else. So we're going to set up a space on our website where you guys can upload video clips and pictures of the races that you attended. And the bonus of it is you'll get a mention. Your footage gets on the podcast, and thank you very much.
Yeah, we will really, really appreciate that because, like Chad said, we can attend at best 2 races if we split company. Chad's going to be racing this year short course. There is some talk that I am going to be racing some XC. Maybe. These things are all still in the works, but that also is going to eat up time that, we're not going to be able to make every race, and there's other races that we need coverage of that we won't be able to be there for at all because we'll be involved in them. So There's a whole bunch of stuff on the plate for 2020. We think it's going to be an awesome year, but we definitely need your help to make this a success. So if you have some good video or good pictures from an event you attended, we would love to publicize that for you, and it helps us fill a show. And again, it helps us put focus on the racers that are out there because we're going to cover it all. We want to be talking about the Lucas Oil Short Course Series that's, obviously not in the Midwest anymore, but it's still happening. AXCC, IXCR, MWXC, EXCR, Crossroads, you name it, we want to talk about it. The new short course series at Wagglers. We're going to be covering all of that stuff. So the more video we have, the more information we have, the more we can get racers' faces out there. People recognize the buggies. People get more excited about the product. It's a win for everybody, and we could really use that help.
Yep. So that's the big news.
That is the big news. We're going to be busy this year.
Yeah, there's always lots to do. Well, it's like we were talking about a few weeks ago when I did the 2019 kind of in review video. It was hard to believe that all that plus more happened in 2019.
Yeah. And this year's stacking up to be even bigger. So.
Yep, pretty much.
We shall see. We'll see how it all plays out. So that's the big fat news. Again, the new show is going to be called Race Pace. It's going to be in the 22-ish minute range, so it's a nice little bite-sized chunk. Easy for people to listen to on a drive to work. I mean, if you have an hour drive, I guess EWAT worked for you. But a lot of people don't spend that much time in the car.
That's true.
And a lot of people, according to the numbers we're seeing, don't have an attention span beyond 10 to 15 minutes. So this probably fits better with a demographic that has just bailed on us in the past.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, well, let's give some updates. Doug, what are you up to? I know what you're up to in the next day or so.
I'm leaving tomorrow morning for Hawaii because I have a business trip out there.
Yeah, rough life.
Somebody's got to do it. Nope, I've got a work trip, and fortunately I was able to extend it by a few days, and my lovely wife is coming with me. So we're going to be on Oahu, which means we get to see Pearl Harbor which is a bucket list item for me.
Yeah, that's something I would like to see. Although I really have no desire to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm probably not as excited as most people would be, but it'll be fun. It's a good chance for Jenny and I to get away. And anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge World War II buff. So to be able to see the Arizona Memorial and some of the other stuff that's there is really a bucket list item, and we're paying for it. So
Yep.
we're calling that a win.
Well,
so I'll be gone
paying
for the
for
entire
most of
next
it.
week, which is why we're recording on Friday night. We want to get this done before I had to leave.
Yep. And the house is coming along good, I assume.
Yeah, so far we've kind of taken a little bit of a break over the past couple weeks just to recover and enjoy it instead of working on it. But all the major stuff is done. It's now down to just little things here and there, and that feels really good.
Yep. I guess I'll give my update. The barn.
Yeah.
As
how's
usual.
the man shed? We'll call it.
It's insulated, and I still got to wrap up some wiring and stuff like that. But it's all run. So it's coming along. It's a usable building. I started putting up some sheeting on the walls and stuff like that. But it's maybe a quarter done. It's just not very far.
Yeah.
But little things, small steps.
So did you go OSB on the wall? Was that the final decision?
Yep, I am OSB on the walls, and I still haven't decided what I'm doing on the ceiling. My dad still keeps saying, "Do drywall, it's fireproof." Like, the walls are gonna burn.
But the ceiling will be in really nice shape when that happens.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't understand why it's like you're saying it's better. I don't get it.
I don't know.
And drywall's kind of a pain. I mean, especially on a ceiling, you have to go with the heavier stuff because it'll sag otherwise.
Yep.
And you really need to finish it at that point.
Yeah.
And I just don't really feel like.
I'm with you. I just don't see it as a win.
Yeah. I mean, if I was going to totally finish the whole inside with drywall and everything, sure, okay. But I'm not.
Yeah. My vote's either just put the wood up top as well or barn steel.
Yeah. Well, I looked at barn steel. It's quite a bit more expensive, and I don't know that I really gain much of anything more.
True. Just looks a little different, reflects light a little better, but I mean, you can also spray it white if you want to. So
I'm going to spray it all white anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. No win then.
Like, all the walls will be white. Everything will be white.
Yeah.
So, but it's about 1/3 more in cost.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Everything in steel, whether it's been produced already or not, it's just everything that steel has gone up because of all the tariffs and the trade war. So.
Yeah. Except for scrap, that's still down.
Yeah, conveniently. So we're getting it at both ends, which is nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Things coming up. Here, what is it? About 3 weeks or so. February 14th. My machine is going to the 29th Annual Indiana Motorcycle and Power Sports Expo at the Indiana State Fairgrounds.
And you're also going to be joined by one Mr. Barry Miller.
Yes, I am. Well, his machine is joining my machine. I don't know how that's going to work. Because he thinks he might be out of town for that, so he said, "Can you take mine up there too?" Yeah, that's fine. I can do that. You know, if I'm going, he said, you just take my trailer because it'll hold both his will hold both machines.
Sure. So he's not sending the whole fleet that he owns up, just his 2020 machine.
Is he sending the 2020 or is he sending the RS1? I can't remember what he said he was sending now.
Something.
Because I think his new X3, he's still got work to do on it. And I don't know that he really wants it just sitting up there when he could be doing things.
I'm looking at the date on the
weekend.
calendar, January 24th. Everybody's machines are just in pieces right now.
Yeah, and he's got some work that he's doing now on his RS1. So, and it's got a little bit more work to do. It's got a little issue, but I'm going to help him with that issue.
Sure.
I'm not going to tell what that issue yet.
Okay, fair enough. But got that to look forward to. Got the RS1, got the dueling Polari. Is that what you called multiple Polarises?
Polarises? Polarize? I don't know. I don't know how that works. And then Cody's Willenborg's Pro XP. His is going to the Off-Road Expo in Louisville. I think it's on the same weekend, if I remember right.
Okay.
He got contacted by, I believe it was Parts Unlimited, and because he got their Dealer of the Year award when we were out in Utah.
Woo-hoo-hoo,
And
Mr. Fancy Pants.
I know, isn't it nice? But he's kind of tricked his out, so he's finishing up the build on it, and it's going there. I'm pretty sure it's that same weekend.
Okay.
So,
Well, good deal.
yep, the machines are starting to make their public appearance, and then everybody's getting them ready for race season, and it'll all just start. It's all coming up really quick.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you look at it, it's like, oh, we're at the end of January, but really you have about a month until the rounds start.
Yeah, because we're going to launch Race Pace on, let me look at the calendar here. That's going to be February 25th because the first IXCR is the 29th and 30th.
Yeah,
And
it's
we
the end
want
of
to be
that
out
week.
just ahead of it. So we're really just taking a quick 2-week break on the 11th and 18th, and then the 25th is the first show, and then that weekend is the start of XC racing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that it's starting in February, but it does occasionally fall that way where they start in February.
Yeah.
That could be really cold. There's video out there
yeah.
where IXCR was racing in the snow.
Yeah.
That could happen again. You just never know.
I'm not going to lie, though, a snow race sounds like a lot of fun.
It does. It also sounds cold.
Yes, it does. But, yeah.
Yeah. So, other races are coming up. I did talk to Steve Mueller. Sounds like AXCC, because of how they changed some things, he will just be running all by his lonesome. No co-driver.
Really?
Yep.
I kind of wondered if, with the advent of the RS1s, if series wouldn't start doing that more. I mean, I know they're not necessarily racing together, and a lot of series have a separate class for them, but it just kind of felt like eventually there'd be bleed over and people would just say, what the heck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. You're talking about having, 200 pounds basically less if you have a full-grown guy in there.
Yeah.
In the machine, that's more speed.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that the co-driver position isn't helpful, but I think it's more helpful to certain racers than others. Some people really probably like having one in there. There's others that could care less. And I've ridden with both. I mean, I've ridden with ones that are just like, just shut up and hang on. I don't really need you. Like, okay, fine.
Right. Right. There are both.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how Steve does. I'm not saying he'll do bad or good without one. I don't know. It'll be different.
Well, he raced over in Casey without one. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got some experience going solo.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, but so
Who's
but
going to
that's
turn
some of
his
the new
music on
rules.
for him? Do you have to stand at the start line with a remote and do it for him? Is that?
I'll just lean in the window, and as he's taking off, I'll hit the button for him.
You better have that coordinated really carefully.
I'll stand on his tree kickers and just hop off as he gets to speed.
Perfect. Hopefully nobody spears him to the side, because that never happens.
No, well, yes, that happens all the time, actually.
So that's what we've got, folks. It's going to be a shorter show. In fact, this will be kind of
Yeah.
good prep work, because this is about the time we're going to have to close up shop on the next one.
Yep.
So,
Although we'll be talking more about racing and things and less about houses and barns and work trips.
yeah, it's definitely going to be a more scripted, more time-oriented show, but the goal basically is to get you as much information as we can into as short a possible time, and we think that helps our sponsors as well, because that's going to open you up to a much larger audience, people that just don't have the time or interest in listening to us babble for an hour. They just want their UTV news. We'll do it in a humorous fashion. We'll have fun with it. It's not going to be a boring show, but it's exciting. I think it's a good way forward for us, and we're going to see how this thing works. Worst case scenario, we lose the 20 viewers we already have.
I don't think that'll happen.
Nah, I don't think so either.
Surely 20 other people will stumble in and stay around.
There's always suckers that'll listen to us.
Yep.
Well, speaking of suckers, we'll thank our sponsors. Oh, wait, I shouldn't have phrased it that way.
No.
But thank you
you've
to our
already said
sponsors.
it, so let's
we
go on.
really, really do appreciate you standing by the show. And honestly, our sponsors we're just kind of shifting you over to the new one, and we're going to get you an even wider viewing audience. So this is a win for everybody involved. But of course, we got CW Motorsports, our title sponsor, that has supported this show for a good long time. And honestly, you cannot find a bigger treasure trove of Razor parts. If you need something, they have it for you. All the way up to completely rebuilt motors that come in a shipping container with an oil filter on them, ready to throw in your machine. And then all you do is take your old motor, wrap it back up, put it back in the same container with a prepaid shipping label they've already sent you, and you send it back. It literally cannot be any easier than that.
Yep, pretty simple.
We've also got Spangs Fab on board, who has been a really great sponsor for us and has just hung on through thick and thin, and they make amazing aftermarket parts for your machine. If you need to get it race ready, they are the people that you need to talk to. Watch Communications, who has hosted our website and will continue to do so in the future. They also host this podcast, and they're going to host our new stuff. So if you need to get a hold of them, watchcom.net, and they can hook you up with free hosting if you use the code Waste of Time, all lowercase with no spaces. And you might want to get on that quick because that's going to go away soon.
Yep.
We've also got TGM Off-Road, who is, again, if you're not as interested in racing, but you just want people to ride with or trade recipes with or both, TGM Off-Road has been an amazing resource for getting people in the door and interested in UTV activities. We've got a new...
And they got their spring ride planned.
Oh, yes. Yes, they do. Where are they going? I'm trying to...
Somewhere in Arkansas. I can't remember what the park's name is.
Somewhere.
Pretty sure it's
They're just going to
Arkansas.
ride around the entire state, the perimeter of it.
Arkansas? Alabama? I don't know. One of those A states down in the south there.
Close enough. You know what? If you go to Facebook/TGM Offroad, you'll find out for yourself.
You will.
And we do have one more sponsor on board. It is 834 Powder Coat, who has just come on recently, and they want to support the show. And we can't say thank you enough. We're really flattered that you want to stand by us, and we will make it worth your while somehow, we promise.
Yep.
All of our dozens of viewers. No, we're going to have thousands of viewers now. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah,
yes,
that's it. We're going to do one more show. We're going to put this thing in the closet after that. It'll still be available on YouTube if you want to go back and shotgun all 120 episodes in one really long... You couldn't do it in the weekend.
No, you couldn't. Not enough
It'd
time.
take you a week, pretty much. 168 hours in a week, 120 episodes, and some of them are a little over an hour. Yeah, you'd have your work cut out for you.
Yep, pretty much.
But they'll all be there for you. They're not going anywhere. We're just going to put the brakes on for a couple weeks and come back fresh with a brand new show for you.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Should be good. Yeah.
Wait.
What?
If you're watching on YouTube, you guys need to subscribe. Look down below. There's a little subscribe button with a bell. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, wherever else. Our website.
EminentPerformance.com.
Yes, sir. We're kind of doing all that stuff. So, yeah. Instagram is Eminent Racing.
So is Facebook.
Facebook, Eminent Racing. That stuff.
Yep. And if you need any of this stuff, EminentPerformance.com. Everything we do is there. All of our social media, there's links to it on the page as well as our sponsors. So if you forget all this stuff, don't worry about it. We got you covered.
Yep.
Alrighty. And no matter what surprise news bomb you've dropped on all your followers lately, thanks for riding along with us.
Thanks, guys.
Tired of screwing up, tired of going down, tired of myself, tired of this town.